Listen, I just want to let y'all know before we even start. I just want to let y'all know that me and Gabe gonna fight. Okay, just let's just put that on the top of the list because I was stressing myself out behind the scenes, and he just act like he don't even hear what I'm saying. So I want you to know, and I want Gabe to know that me and him we squaring up. 1, 2, how are you? 3, 4, come get more. Okay, that's just so we're all highly aware of where we stand. Okay, welcome back to another episode of One Being Brave. I'm your host Domo Jones. How you doing? Y'all good? Y'all straight? Now I feel like I'm super close. Child, scoot back. Hey, mom. Okay, wait, hold on, cause we're gonna get this together. Oh, oh. Okay, girl, don't touch nothing. Just be. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of One Being Brave. I'm your host, Domo Jones. How you doing? Cause we here. We here and we in living color and child, cause it's been dot dot dot. Where do we begin? From within. Bars. Killing the game already. Golly. That's crazy. All right, so let's get into the house rules. Y'all ready? For sure. All right, so no bashing up. Wait, first of all, no profanity. No profanity. It's too many words. Like it's way too many words. And when I say way, I mean way. Way too many words in the dictionary, and we're gonna use all of them. Point blank in the period. Also, no bashing of race, religion, gender, politics, or sexual. Girl, learn how to talk. It's too early. Okay, let's get it together. No bashing of race, religion, gender, sexual preferences, or um, what did I say? Did I say race, religion? Race, religion, gender, sexual preferences. Boom. Won't do that. From one blood, he made all the nations. We are family. Like all of us. Cousin, uncle them, auntie them. You feel me? Mama them, grandmama them. All y'all invited to the barbecue. Who gonna check for me? Tell them I sent you. Who gonna check for me? Exactly. Cause who? Not a soul. Also, this show is called One Billion Brave because it represents the 1 billion people of the world that have a disability and or medical condition. Oh heads, you already know what I'm about to say. Newcomers catch on quick. Get you one of us in your circle. I mean, I've been saying it for so long. Get you one of us. We're top tier. And then what makes it even better, how you know we're top tier, all my guests are super dope. And then my guest today is even dope. So the tier just raised again. I mean, I mean, goodness. Get you one of us. Don't get you me. I'm taking. But get you one of us in your circle because when you get you one of us, you'll be like, dang, Domo, this community is so dope. I know. I've been saying it. You have 5 or 6 years of seasons to choose which one you want in your circle. Even if you want this one for this episode, well, first of all, let's just hold on because she's in my circle, but she can maybe I could let her borrow, maybe, but you gonna have to see because all my guests are in my circle, so I can see if they got time to be in yours. But just get you one of us. I'm telling you, like we're just too dope. You feel me? And that's on period. Also, this is one of the most important rules. Are you ready for it? We talk about Jesus Christ on this show. JC is the way to be. Bars. Jesus Christ is better than white rice. The King of Kings will forever be higher than bling bling. Oh, What's up, cousin? Love you. Hi, Des. That's it. That's it. That's it. I mean, Jesus is. I mean, every day he just gets even more dope. I just be like, God, that's you. That's crazy to me. I'm gonna stick with me and Jesus. We locked in. We locked in, and I will always win. Domo, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. You gotta relax. You gotta relax because you give them too much too soon. Okay, and that's on period. Also, this is the last rule. This show is one of the very few shows that has a hostess with a disability that only interviews guests with disabilities and or medical conditions. Gabe, pipe it down because we already fighting. So I can't rest because that will make me stressed. I can't rest because that's not the best thing for me to do. Okay. Yeah. Moving forward. Yeah, this show is one of the very few shows that has a hostess with a disability that interviews guests with disabilities and or medical conditions. Old heads, no. Newcomers, catch on very quick. Lady O, Tyler Perry, I'm still gonna say it, whew, and Mother Ava DuVernay. I'm about to see all y'all. All three of y'all. I'm ready for you. You feel me? Lady O, it's getting hot in here. So take off some of your clothes. Not all of them, just a few. Just a few layers. I'm going to the crib. We can go outside in your Garden of Eden. Boom. Chat it up. And then thank you for your time. Then to it's time to go to Tyler Perry's studio. We can go to your studio. We can go to I mean, it doesn't even matter. You choose. Then after that, time to get our locks done at Rockefeller. And then me and Mother Eva DuVernay, I'm in chair one, she's in chair two, and we chopping it up. Chop a style. Chop, chop, chop a chop. You feel me? It makes sense in my head. And that's all that matters. When it happens, thinking not strange. Okay? Thinking not strange. All right, so uh everyone, guess who's in the house? My dad, aka PK. I don't know why he wants a national announcement, but here we are. Here we are. Hey, everyone say hey because he needs a grand announcement. Anybody think about you? You're not PK right now. So we're not obligated to speak to you. You fall in line, Kiroy. Fall in line. All right, so as you guys know, some of you good, some of you guys do, some of you guys don't. But this show, what's up, Jamal? How are you? You good? This show, we do things a little different for this season. We're starting a new segment where we represent and we pay homage to the awareness ribbons. Please understand that breast cancer is not the only ribbon. I know it's highly celebrated, but that is not the only ribbon. And on this show, we want to show that there are way more. And when I say way, I mean way. Okay? So, Gabe, who is the ribbon that we are celebrating for this month of June? Come on! PTSD National PTSD Awareness Month, June. Y'all probably didn't even know that. That's crazy to me because I sure didn't. I learned something new. June is National PTSD Awareness Month. What color is the ribbon, Domo? I'm glad you asked. Teal. Period. Teal. You see that teal up there? Representing. And I didn't even know it. Golly. That's crazy. For those that do deal with PTSD, it is an invisible disability. It is an invisible condition, and a lot of people don't take that lightly because you can't see it with your eyes. But for those that are diagnosed and for those that do deal with PTSD, over here we want to represent you, we want to acknowledge you, and we want to show that you are seen and we appreciate your fight. It's not easy dealing with an invisible disability. It's not easy dealing with PTSD. I don't personally know it, but I know that it is a fight that you have to overcome every day, all day. So we appreciate you over here. Thank you for your fight. We acknowledge you. I'm gonna wear till tomorrow, just cause to represent you, and that's on period. All right, so before I bring on my next guest, child, let me tell you, but the devil be trying to be busy, but God be busier. Okay, because before I got on here, child almost passed out. Like, and I'm not even playing around. Like, literally, almost passed out. My body overheated, and I was about to pass out for real. Like, I'm not even playing around. I know, I know it sounds crazy, but I was literally about to pass out. Like, I had to call both my parents, and then they gave me some orange juice, and I had to drink a protein shake, and I needed some air. Girl, the devil was trying to stop me from this show, but boy, gone. That's crazy to me. I was literally, hi grandma, love you. I was literally about to pass out. Like I overheated like a mug. And that's crazy. We're not gonna say how many layers of clothes I have on. That's not important. It's hot. And I do have a lot of layers. It is a habit that I need to break because I be wearing a lot of layers of clothes. And for what, girl? Ain't none of your clothes see through. Why are you wearing 19 layers of clothes? Child, it ain't never that serious. Cause boy, Moon, Moon, boy, bye. That devil be trying, but he ain't never prospering. That's crazy to me. Go on somewhere. I got stuff to do. Be with somebody else. I ain't got time. Okay, look. My next guest. First of all, let's just start here. We're not only international, we're national because we have a celebrity in our presence. And y'all didn't even know. I didn't even know. We have a whole celebrity. One Being Brave just made it. And let me tell you, my guest, she's so sweet. And she's just the sweetest. She's just so sweet. And I'm over here at a 49, level 49, and she's just so sweet. And let me tell y'all, she nervous, so don't be acting. Y'all listen. Y'all better love on her cause she in my circle and you don't want it. Cause I'm bout it. And we bout it. Okay. All right, so my next guest, I'm super excited. I asked her to be a guest. As you guys know, most of you guys know, I don't know any of my guests' story ahead of time. I don't like to know. I like to know when we're live, um, because it makes me listen and it makes them know that I'm actually intrigued in their life. And then I don't go by a script. Like what that mean? But I'm super excited that my next guest is going to be on sharing her story. Y'all love on her, please, because she's nervous. And we love over here. You feel me? We do. Um, she's super excited and I'm super excited. All right, so without further ado, Aisha Shantae, come on the stage, please. What
Hi.
what's going on?
Nothing much. here with you.
Thank you so much for gracing the stage. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.
You are well. Okay, and first of all, the blue. You're killing it with the blue.
Thank you, thank you. I try, but I do have a degree in fashion design, so hopefully that explains the whole ensemble.
Come on. Come on, fashion. I didn't even know that. Let's
Yeah,
check that off right there. All
yeah.
right,
One
so
day. Mhm.
for people that don't know, can you tell us where you're from and the name of your very meek? I know, mom. She is.
Okay.
Can you,
Go ahead.
oh, the name of your where you're from and the name of your medical condition or
Okay, I'm
disability.
from Corona, California, and I suffer from schizoaffective disorder.
Okay, so for those that don't know, and for myself, let's delve into it. Can you break that down? Just what that looks like, what that mean?
Okay, so basically, I have episodes when I hear voices or hallucinate. I went through a whole 7 year cycle of that. I was able to become stable at 36. I'm actually 47 right now. So it started when I was 28. Um, I woke up one morning. I heard a voice. After that, it became Minnie, and I started seeing things. I didn't really know what was wrong with me. I was like praying, searching for scripture, trying to figure out what's going on. But in my family, they didn't realize it until maybe about 3 months into it, and I was taken to a hospital, and they did all these tests, and they just diagnosed me as being mentally ill, and I was put in a mental institution for a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go back just a little bit. So this happened when you said you were 28.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want like how did it start? Like how did you what was there a trigger or like
Stress. At the time,
stress?
I had just finished like my first book, writing that, my first movie. I was working, so it was just like a buildup of things, and it just got to be overwhelming. So it triggered something, and like I said, I went on went somewhere for a weekend, came back that Monday, woke up, and I heard one voice. Don't really know who it was, but maybe I thought it was God or like God talking to me. But it was crazy though. It was a crazy time for me.
That is so interesting. So, first of all, stress is such a silent killer, and I think people don't talk about stress enough. Just what it really does to your body. I never knew that stress could cause,
Yeah,
so
I
many.
didn't, and I didn't even know that that ran in my family until like maybe like
Mm.
a year later. I got in contact with a cousin, my mom's sister. She was diagnosed, and so that's how it runs in my family. But thank God, no one else has any symptoms of that, so that's good.
So I want to know because I want to understand and be sensitive to the condition that you have. When you say that you hear voices, because a lot of people be like I hear voices, okay, but it's never really deemed as a condition, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I'll put it this way. My sister once said to me, she was like, okay, so when you have a conversation with yourself and you know what you're saying to yourself, but with me, I can hold a conversation with the voice in my head and just be talking, having a conversation, not knowing what that voice is going to say to me. So that's kind of how we kind of rationalize it. Like, people talk to themselves all the time, but does yourself ever talk back to you?
Right. So when it came down to like the it being a concern as considered a condition, were you like speaking out loud or did
No,
you like see things?
I actually was in it's called like a catatonic state where you sort of like you'll be in like one position standing for like hours. Like you go like this, and I couldn't um, see you. It's just me, just maybe my parents said that I was like standing in like one position for like hours. I wouldn't sit down. I couldn't hear them talking to me, or I could be sitting down for hours and no response, and that was really scary for my whole family.
Yeah, so is that like considered like a comatose state? Like what is that
Somewhat,
considered?
yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's how they found out that something was wrong,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I didn't initially know something was wrong, but I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. So when, and like I didn't, to be honest, like I didn't shower, I didn't do anything. I was just in this state of just one position for like hours. So, I have to be honest, because hair
Yeah,
mess
no,
and
I appreciate it.
no makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we honest over here because we don't know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability.
Mhm.
I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, like,
Um,
so someone once said, you don't look like what you've been through, and I'm all, well, that's a good thing, because you wouldn't want to see me in that state, or how I am when I do get sick within the episode.
yeah. So it is considered an episode.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, it was like a constant cycle for like 7 years. So maybe like 3 to 4 months, I'll be in that state, and then I'll be out of it for like maybe 3 months, and I would try to rebuild my life. Like I tried to deny like something was wrong. Like maybe if I ate healthy or exercise, took vitamins, I'm fine. I'm not crazy. But at the end of the day, I was crazy.
Man. So was there ever like a trigger that would take you out of it and then bring you back in?
No, it kind of just faded away gradually. I don't really like. I could go to sleep in like March and wake up, and it's like June. Like I would have missed like a whole month of my whole life. I wouldn't even. I couldn't tell you what happened in that time.
What?
Yeah, sort of, like one time I do remember, like I looked at the calendar, it was March, and then when I looked again, it was like June. I'm like, what? Where was I for all that time in my head?
That
Yeah, so
is
for it was a 7 year cycle. Like I said, it took 7 years to find the right medication, to be stable, and so that was a huge blessing, because it takes time to kind of rebuild your life back.
so during that 7 years, and then once they found a solution, with the medication, what did the medication do? Did the medication bring your memory back? Did it bring your
No,
com-
the medication, it's supposed to suppress the voices. So
um,
I don't have the hallucinations or hear the voices. But I guess in my case, it was so severe, and even like now, I'm still on meds. I have to take meds twice a day. If I skip a day, you would know, because I'm instantly like in a mood. I'm crying. I'm upset, all because I didn't have my medication.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Even now, I like to think one day I'll be off it, but um, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime
We
soon.
gonna believe God that you will be, okay?
Yes, we will.
We we serve a God that's greater than some medication because we gonna believe
Exactly.
God
He
for
knew all
sure.
this would happen, so
It, exactly. He knows, and he knows you that you're his daughter. So yeah, we gonna believe God that you will be off the medication. But you definitely don't look like what you've been through. If I can ask, if you do know, I don't know. Now when you say that you've heard voices, is there like a Gabe? Is there like a certain number of voices? Are
oh
they all
yes.
different?
Like the first voice turned into probably like 50. So it's different
Really?
voices. Like I thought like the people were talking to me from the TV, or like a magazine, and yeah, it gets crazy. And you just sort of have to laugh about it. Otherwise, it's kind of sad.
I mean, because you like, you see this jokingly on TV, but you don't really hear people like talk about it in real life. Like this is something that people really like deal with, you know?
Yeah, and when I got sick around that time, it was really taboo. You didn't really talk about it. Like I'm the crazy aunt who lived upstairs locked in her room. It was like you don't talk about these
Mm.
things. And now people do. They realize, mental health and taking care of your mind and stress and all the things are important.
Yeah, that is very true. Okay, so now we're gonna delve into um after the 7 years, right? And then now that you're kind of getting your life back, what did that look like for you? Like, was that difficult to find that routine of getting back to who you are?
Yeah, it was very difficult. It's like to have a good mindset, but I believe, since I am a Christian and I do believe in God, I believe that um, He's the one to help me get my life back. Like I focus on the things that He wants me to do, and that took time, and that's been a journey,
Mhm.
to really want what God wants for me versus what I want for myself. So
That is
that's
very
that's
true.
how I live my life these days.
When you as you say you had to go to into a mental institution?
Yes, yes. For about 30 days, I was there. And it's funny because, God can use you in any situation. When I was
Right.
in there, I would go around asking people if they needed prayer. I would read the scripture or read the Bible with
Really?
people. And I'm like, thinking back, I'm like, wow, God can really use you. He used me being crazy in a mental institution to reach out to people. And I
To
thought
reach out to
that's
people.
awesome and crazy at the same time.
You just never know like how God will use you in any situation. And that's like the beautiful thing about God, because it's like for us it seems like, it don't make no sense. Why, first of all, why am I here?
Exactly. And I
Two,
had no idea why I was there. That's the funny part.
yeah.
But I needed to be there.
You needed to be there because there were people that you were specifically supposed to reach.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was like God used you for those people, because I don't really know, to be honest. I always think about this in situations like when people deal with different things. You don't know who you're gonna reach just because of where you are. Like they can relate because you guys are in the same situation, but yet your spirit is so high and in you believe in God, you believe in positivity, you believe in
Yeah.
so many other things outside of where you are. So it brings people like a sense of hope.
Yeah, and that's the whole well for me, I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to just and I read that about a lot of people with a mental illness they commit suicide, and I thought that was really awful, not a great thing. And I wanted to help. So I thought maybe I could, give words of encouragement to people and I can let them see that even if there's something wrong, even if you have an illness, you can still go out there, you can still live your dream, you can still make a difference. So that was kind of the whole point of starting my YouTube channel, just so I can tell people it's okay to have
Yeah.
an illness or mental illness. It's okay to be disabled, but you can still live your life. You can still make a difference. It doesn't
Still.
have to set you back or limit you because, our God, He's limitless. So, you know, I try to encourage people in that way. And I use things that I've gone through to sort of speak. I let them know that I'm not a professional, doctor or psychiatrist, but all I can do is state what has helped me on my journey, and
Yeah.
hopefully somehow I can inspire the whoever's listening, to make it through their own journey.
Right. Yeah, and your testimony is enough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like you need like a degree, you need some high letters behind your name. Your testimony is something that you've actually dealt with. And I feel like people can relate more to your testimony than they can from a book,
Yeah.
because it's personal. You actually dealt with it. You know what it feels like, not just what it looks like, but you know what it feels like. And it's like, okay, yeah, she gets it.
Yeah, and it's like someone hit me up saying that she's going through some a mental illness and she was just thanking me for coming on and sharing my story. I'm like, if I just helped one person, it's all worth it because nobody
So
wants.
true.
Yeah,
So true. You already have people on here talking about you have a humbling spirit. You have such a positive attitude. Thank y'all. Cause she does.
Thank you. Well, I don't get none of the glory. I'm always like, okay. Am I going to glorify the Father? With my life and what I'm doing, and that's just where I'm at this stage in my life. It's like
Yeah.
God be the glory, and I'm just gonna keep on as long as He allows me to.
Okay. And that's on period. I love that. Okay, so you tapped in on it, but we gotta delve into it.
Okay.
Fashion, what, how, when, what you
Um,
do?
right out of high school, I went to Brooks College for fashion design. Let's see, up until the point when I was 27, I was designing like my first line. Like I said, I was writing a book, a movie, what else? And music. I got into music at about 21. I was in a pop group with my sister. We were called Impulse. But I left there at 23. I went back to college for songwriting. So at 27, like I said, I was finished up my demo tape because I wanted to sing rock music at the time. So I just finished my demo tape. I just finished my first movie, my first book, a couple of TV shows. Plus, on top of that, like I said, I was working full time. I was going out with my friends and just living my life. And I guess it all just became too much to deal with. And going to church, by the way, I was one of those people who went to church like Sunday morning,
Right.
evening service. I probably lived at church to the point where they were like, Aisha, do you have a life outside of
Could
church?
you please go home?
Yeah. Like, no, I don't have a life outside church.
I know there's something to do here.
Mhm.
Okay, first of all, who are you? Because you just named off like 19 different things that you're a fashion designer, you're a rock star, you're a
I
production.
know that's probably why I got sick because I'm I'm doing all these different things. But you know what? God gives you gifts, and I feel like my
Yeah.
one thing is I hate wasted talent. If you have a gift, please use it.
Yeah.
And um, right now, I was going to say that like my obedience, like you said, is tied to someone else's breakthrough.
Right.
So that's sort of
Ooh.
how I look at everything now. Now, yeah, there's stuff I don't want to do. Maybe sometimes I don't want to post or this and that, but I know that on the other side of that, there's someone who needs to hear what I have to say to make it through another day.
That was a nugget. Your obedience is tied to someone else's. What'd you say?
Breakthrough.
Gay. Put that on the screen because that's a nugget right there. Golly, that's good. That's really, really, really good. Okay, so I definitely want to know now, um, what, because you're doing like 40, you do like 47, you have 47 different doggone talents and gifts, and that's just crazy to me. I didn't even know who am I talking to? Like, who are you? Golly. But what are you into now?
Well, right now I just finished a cookbook that I have a podcast called
You
The
cook
History.
too?
Yeah, I have a podcast too. It's called The History of Foods and Recipes. And what I do is I pick a food item and I talk about the history behind it, followed by a recipe. So I just finished that cookbook. It'll be out in August, so I'm very excited about that. I'm on my third season. I might do a fourth season, but it's kind of hard to juggle, the YouTube channel, and I did it as a way to like just do something different, something happy, something that I love. So I'm not so caught up in being Aisha Shantae
Yeah,
Jackson,
yeah.
demands of the mind drawing sessions, But like I said, I just finished the cookbook. I'm getting back into music slowly. That was something that I prayed a lot about music because I'm like I tried to do it for years to be a songwriter, but the whole music thing just never panned out. And I just figured maybe this isn't
Mhm.
something that God wants for me. Maybe it's something that's going to take me away from Him. And right now, maybe that's not something I should do. But this year, a couple months ago, He slowly been urging me, nudging me to get back into music. So I'm currently working on a couple of songs, and I don't know where that's going to go. But now I'm into country music. I decided at 40 that I wanted to do country music because I love writing country songs. My family thinks I'm crazy, but they're like, if you like it, go ahead and do it. You
Okay.
so like I said, at 40 I was going to do it, but I got caught up into working, and I didn't trust God to provide, so I went back to work. It's like, okay, do I work on music and just do this and trust that God's going to do this? But at the time I didn't, so I
Right.
went back to work. And like I said, over time now, God just really urging me to sort of like nudge back into it a little bit. And I'm older, so I'm like, I don't know, but let me see where this is gonna go. I have no idea.
So is writing country music a lot different? Because you were into rock at first, right?
Yeah,
So is it a lot different? Is the genre of
yeah.
when it comes to writing?
I think my love for country music is because you can tell a good story. Like with a lot of like R&B and other genres, you can't really tell a good story. And with country
Hmm.
music, you can just lay it all out, tell a story, and it sounds good. It sounds
Yeah,
good. So yeah,
that's very true. Country music is definitely you visualize what you're saying. Like it's a whole storybook for real. That's
yeah.
so true. And I mean, just okay. And then we gotta now we gotta delve into your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what we're
'Cause-
here for. Yeah, so my
okay,
YouTube,
what's the name of it? Yeah, because we
okay,
want to delve into it.
all right, it's called The Manners of the Mind. And I named it Journaling Sessions because I felt like it was like a diary that I had where I was writing like all these things I've gone through and what helped me through it. So that's why I call it Journaling Sessions. But I say The Manners of the Mind because when I was sick, I would say, oh, I'm going through the madness again. I'm going through the madness again.
Mm,
That's why I said, okay, The Manners of the Mind. So yeah.
that's cool. So during your sessions, what do you typically like delve into or talk about?
I have different topics. I teach a bit of scripture. So, like my last topic, well, one of them was I went blank, but I try to pick different topics and I'll attach scripture. Like I'll study the scriptures because I'm realizing now that certain things that I thought meant something else meant something else. So it's a lot of studying, but I just try to find different topics to talk about. And and since most of the stuff I've gone through, I just share that. Like this is how I got through this. So
That's
that's
good.
basically what the channel is about. So there's tons of topics. All of it's Christian based.
Yeah.
Like my goal is to, like I said, show that if you do have a mental illness or a disability, that you can still do something with your life. You don't have to be bound by that. And
Mm,
hopefully, towards the end of the year, I would like to start a foundation where I can give scholarships to people who have a mental illness who want to start a business, who are stable, and they want to
mm,
start a business. So that's something I want to do later on. But right now, I'm just focusing on, growing the channel and reaching out to
yeah.
people. And hopefully, I am making a difference in some way.
You are. Let's start there. You definitely are.
Thank
Because
you.
you're amazing. Goodness. That is so dope. A lot of people don't talk about um mental illness because it's invisible and
Yeah.
people don't believe it. They don't think it's real.
Oh, it's real.
Man,
That's when people I hear people say, "I almost lost my mind." I'm like, "Oh, well, I did lose my mind. I did lose my mind at one point in my life." Oops, sorry.
that's not funny, but the, the way you said
Yeah. Well,
the
I
way
mean,
you
you gotta
said
laugh about it. I gotta laugh about it.
yeah, you got to
You
laugh
know,
it through.
it's something that happened, and you go through something, you ask God why, but then you think, this is my cup. Like, why do you feel
Right.
this way? I'm like, I don't want to be the crazy aunt that that stays locked in her room.
So
I don't want to be the
true.
poster child for crazy.
That's so,
But but God has a way. So I'm like, okay, God,
God
I'll
has
do
a
it for
way.
you.
Right. And you are the one, and the beautiful thing is you know how to handle it. You know how to carry it.
Mhm.
Because you carry it with so much grace and gratitude. I feel like I wouldn't be able to go through what you've gone through. I would probably lose my mind. Like I wouldn't be here at all.
Yeah, that's what my mom, she always tells me. She's like, you went through something that, someone else wouldn't have made it through. And,
Yeah.
and I credit that all to God.
Yeah, and you carry it so well. Like you teach us, but then you also, give credit to our King. You give credit to our God.
Yeah.
And then that also leads people to God too, just through your testimony and just your demeanor, just how you carry it, how you gone through it, but then also who your sources from. I mean everything. I love it. I ask all my guests these two questions. My first question for you is what is or was the hardest part about living with your condition?
Um, you know what? Towards the end of that 7 year cycle, I developed tardive dyskinesia, where it's involuntary muscle movements, and for me, it was in my eyes. So my eyes would shift
Mm,
up like this, and I would stay like that for hours. And I also had muscle spasms in my stomach, and so that year was the hardest year to get through because of the physical like torment, like
yeah.
and like I didn't leave my house for like a year. I couldn't drive, I couldn't go anywhere because I didn't know when the flare ups would start, or so that was difficult. That last year, that was really hard.
I can only imagine.
And
Ooh,
I told God I was 35, and I'm like, God, if this is it, let me know. I'm ready to go. I
yeah.
I, I can't I can't do
I can't
this.
bear it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
too
too much.
much.
And then maybe a couple months later after that, we found a new medication, and that I've been stable since then for since I was
Wow.
36 for 10 years.
So with that medication, are you still on it? Do you still take
Yes,
it?
yes, every
Okay.
day.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is
that was hard. And then watching
yeah.
my family watch me, like there's nothing nobody can do. It just locked in my room, going through it.
Woo.
Yeah. I say, well,
Man.
I mean, my family had to lock my room because, like, they didn't want me to like run off. Like one time, I was in my car in the garage, my bags packed, like for hours. They couldn't find me. So after that, they decided to lock my door, so I wouldn't just leave the house.
Yeah, because you just don't know. You
Yeah,
don't you don't know what's gonna trigger. You don't know.
yeah, and I
Man.
credit my family for sticking with me, taking care of me.
Yeah, no,
I always say
really.
they could have just been like, "Oh, she's crazy. Let's leave her there." But no, my mom, my sister, my dad,
Yeah.
they're all just right around me and help me to fight that.
Man, that's amazing. That's I love when you have family that see through all that and they're like, no, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah. Like,
I'm
oh no, she's
we
not going
rocking.
anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm sticking with her. I don't care what it looks like. I'm sticking with her because I believe God, one, and two, this is my child. This is my
Yes.
sister.
Yeah.
And that's it. There ain't no questions. There's
Yeah,
nothing else outside of that.
exactly.
That's
So,
it.
I
I
credit
love
them.
that.
I love them for that because, like I said, I've heard stories of other people, family who's gone through something similar, and
Mhm.
they're in a mental institution. Their family just left
Man,
them there.
just
And I'm
left
so
that.
grateful and thankful that my
Golly.
family didn't just drop me off and was like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
no, she got too much in her to be,
Right.
just like
Yeah. Okay. So, what is the most rewarding part about living with your condition or having your condition?
that. I think right now it's helping people.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I said, I might cry because
It's okay.
it's helping people to, like I said, show them that, just trust in the Lord and He's going to see you through. He
Yeah.
may not come immediately, may come at the last minute, but He always comes through.
So
And,
true.
He can turn something that meant for evil, into good.
Yeah. I get that. It's hard sometimes dealing with it, but then when you see you're helping so many other people, you're just like, man, it was worth it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
worth it because you're pulling them out of something that they probably never even thought they could come out of.
Yes.
Man. Oh God, don't make me cry because
I
that's
won't
just
make you
so
cry.
deep. Like, man, because I get it. Like, I definitely understand. I don't know exactly your condition. Like, I've never been in there in that space.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the heart of helping others because you understand, that's the part I get.
Yeah, like I said, many years, ask God why, but it's
Yeah,
just life. It's just life. We all have our own journey.
right.
We all have our own responsibility to, share that, and like I said, make a difference.
So true. And you're definitely making a difference. And I just want to encourage you that sometimes it does look ugly. Sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes it's like, all right, okay, God, we get it. Just give me a break. Look over me for a little bit. But you are helping people. And you're so gifted. And you're just like you're for one, you're dope. Like you just do so much. That's just one.
I do, but you know what? It's a good thing.
It
I like,
is.
I love it all. I
I
love
get it
writing
though because
songs.
I do a lot and I'm just like how but I get that part of just being gifted. Just God gave me God
Yeah,
gave
it's funny
creative
because
mind.
I have a friend. He's a writer and he has a degree, and he's like, "How did you just wake up one day and be able to write a book or a movie?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, grace to God, He gave me
Oh
this."
no, right. God just gave me a
He's just
creative
so jealous. He's
mind.
like, "I'm sorry, I didn't go to school for this."
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, God, this is what I think. I think people that he gives the most challenges to, he also gives them large gifts and
Mhm.
large minds because you now that I'm learning now I learned like who you are and what you've been through. You dealt with a lot, right? But then
Yeah.
you also are so creative. And with me, I did, girl, I almost passed out just 10 minutes
I
ago.
know. I heard that. I'm like, "Oh shit, she better."
Right, like I
He's
almost
like,
passed
"Girl,
out, but
come on, we gotta do this."
yeah, okay, like they
No,
ain't
no,
nothing
but
stopping.
your health is, you have to take
Yeah,
care.
but then also it's like in even that same mind, if when I'm down, I'll wake up with another book in my mind. I'll wake up with another business. So it's like it to me it kind of like balances it out. It's like
Mhm.
God give okay, He gonna give you a whole bunch, but then also He's going to reward you for all the things that you're enduring by
I know
being
he will.
creative.
I mean, I know the breakthrough's coming, so it's been
Oh,
a
okay.
long time coming. But
It's
and then even if it doesn't, I'm still here.
okay, I love
Mhm.
it. I just enjoy what I love the creative side of who we are.
Yeah,
And it
I
just it just also shows who God is too. Like who how he could put how he just puts stuff in you.
yeah. Mhm.
Cause I can't do what you do. I don't know how to write nothing country. I woke up one morning. This is the most country I'm gonna get. I woke up one morning and I was hungry.
Yeah. Well, it started like in the '90s because that's when like the whole what the pop scene and the country music,
Yes.
and so my love started from way back in the late '90s. I mean, I'm sure some
Dang.
artists today that I listen to, but most of them were like the ones that were way
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. I get you. Zoe, what's up? I see you. I love you. Thank you so much for gracing the stage. I appreciate it. Gabe, Gabe,
He says, "You gotta come on."
you want to be on the show so bad. Like, thank you so much for gracing the stage. I definitely appreciate it.
All right.
I don't take it lightly. You're amazing.
Thank you
You,
for having me and letting me come on and
yeah, I
talk
listen.
about
I
forgiving.
said that. I was like, I need her on my show as soon as I get over this doggone sickness, good Lord. But I need her on my show.
We're gonna pray that off for you,
Okay, I got stuff to do.
right?
We
My
don't
mom's
have the
like,
time. I
yeah,
don't
my
have
mom
the
told
time to be
me,
bed bound right now.
yeah, you got stuff to do, girl. You can't be getting sick.
That's so good too. Again, I definitely appreciate it. Gabe, could you put on the screen where her YouTube channel is, please? Thank you so much. Oh, and I got it before you go. I forgot about this. Girl, dang. Before you go, question. Okay, so I didn't tell you this before, but I'm about to tell you this now. So I do a before you go question for all my guests. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. It's just a super random question that I
Okay.
ask. I don't even know it. Gabe is the only one that knows the question.
Okay. I'm
And
ready.
we about to figure this thing about to figure this thing out. Gabe, what's the question, please, sir? While you're trying to be on the screen.
What would
What would
you
you much rather be if you could change the color of it?
um
Oh, what would be much better if you can change the color of it? That is a crazy question.
um a flower maybe?
Okay, what color?
Probably yellow.
Yellow flower. Okay.
I used to love
Okay.
that color when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I have like the graduations, this yellow dress on with the heels and stockings. I still have that picture.
Okay, so I think for me, a lot of wedding dresses, I feel like wedding dresses should be like a a turquoise.
Oh,
Why
that's
it
a
gotta
good.
be all white?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, why we gotta be all white? Just
Change it
looking
up a
like
little bit.
yeah, just looking like snow. I don't want to look like snow. I want some color. I want some color.
we we're gonna pray for the right
Add a
dress.
little polka dot or something.
Yeah,
Thank you again.
I
Gabe,
know.
can you put her YouTube on the screen again, please? Thank you again, Aisha. I appreciate it so much.
Okay.
Please don't log off because we're gonna end the
All
show.
right. Shout out PK. Hey.
Shut up, PK. I know they both
thank
on
you.
here.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Love you.
Love you too.
I told y'all gonna learn today. Yeah. I told y'all my guest is gonna be super dope. Like she's doper than dope. And then after that dope, she's doper than dope. The bar just raised again. Like that's crazy. That's wild to me. Y'all ain't know who she is, bro. I'm not even gonna tell her. That's why y'all gotta look her up. Look her up for yourself. Y'all gotta know her for yourself. Okay? Thank you, Aisha, for gracing the stage. I appreciate it so much. I just learned so much about her life, her story. And I appreciate the awareness that she brought. I love this is let me tell you why I love doing this show. I love doing this show because one, I never know what my guests go through or deal with. Two, I learn something new. And three, it brings awareness to what other people deal with outside of the normalcy of what we all know. There's so many other conditions out there. There's so many other things that people deal with, and no one really talks about it. It's just like a facade. It's not real because it's not seen or it's not heard. And I love this show because it just shows that we all are dealing with stuff, but we making it. And we ain't going nowhere. And also, not only that, we're doing stuff while going through it. Aisha does 47,000 things. Y'all heard it. She a whole country artist and a rock band and an author and a producer and everything. And she a cookbook artist, chef, child. What am I doing with my life? I don't know. I'm not doing nothing. I need to figure my life. After after I heard her story and then now what she does, what I'm not doing nothing. Girl, I'm lazy at this point. Cause child, she's dope. She's amazing. I love the way she carries herself. It's just so meek, so peaceful. She's just so sweet. And she just smiles all the time. I love people that smile, first of all. Because smiling, it just shows that you're happy about your life. Okay. Ain't nothing gonna stop. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. All right, so church rules, church announcements. If you have a medical condition, disability, or you know someone that has a medical condition, thank you, mom. Or you know someone that has a medical condition and or disability, and you want them to be a guest on the show, holla at me. Let me know what's up. You feel me? Like, let me know. Here is the only requirement that I have. You need to have an actual medical condition or disability. Don't be hitting me up talking about you cut your toe. Don't hit me up talking about you got a paper cut. Do not hit me up talking about you ran to the wall. Turn on the light, get you some Neosporin or some Vaseline, and go about your business. We deal with real life stuff over here. You feel me? So if you or you know someone that has a disability and or medical condition and you think they'll be a dope guest, because as you can see, my guests are dope. So you got to come with it when you come on the show. Ain't no half stepping trip. It's against the law. I heard of whom would. Okay, stay focused, on. Yeah, just holla at me. Let me know. Also, next Tuesday we are live and in living color. You can do what you wanna do and live color. And okay, next Tuesday we're live, 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central Time, and 10 p.m. Eastern. We're live and in living color. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. And next Tuesday, hopefully, I can learn how to work this dog. Girl, what are you looking at? What? Why is there so much space? Hopefully, I can learn how to look at the screen, cause child, it was too much going on. I almost passed out. Okay, so y'all just gotta go with it. All right, I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I say it every episode, and I'm going to keep saying it because I appreciate everyone that tunes in and that watches. I don't take it lightly. Y'all could be creating a whole, who knows? You could be like Aisha, a whole chef. Okay? Who knows? But I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you just commenting. I appreciate you just watching, seeing what we're talking about. I love you so, so much. Don't log off though, because Gabe gotta show y'all something. Alright? But I'm about to be out. I love y'all. Gabe. Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. At Wendy's, you can still get a 4 for 4. But wait, there's more. At Wendy's, you can still get a 4 for 4. Oh my gosh. Wow, I done broke the record. That was amazing.